Hello. My voice was audible, I believe.
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Anyone would like to start if you were able to go through ice scrum or something like that? That was the exercise given. Bobby, did you go through this thing recording?
Yes, please. Yes. I went through and in the same recording, I went through everything. I've got one little question to ask, please.
Yeah, go ahead and ask that.
Yeah. Shall I continue?
Yeah, please.
Yeah. So, Gaurav, I went through the whole class and I found I found it all right. I managed to understand most of the things. One slide, uh, made me confused if I'm understanding the things all right or not, because that question is the most basic question.
Mm-hmm.
So during the class, at one point of time, you showed the slide which says the people involved in the project. So in that slide, there's six people shown. One is customer, then development team, then Scrum Master, then vendor, then product owner, and then PMOs and C-level executives.
Mm-hmm.
So my question is in two parts. Number one, I would like to understand, because I was under impression customer is the end user.
Okay. Okay.
So if the customer is not the end user, here I can see involved in the project. So customer is involved in the project. So who is the customer?
Okay. So what do you think about it when this confusion arose and after going through the entire stuff, did you find any light bulb moment where you find, oh, so he is not customer, then this could be customer. So any thought, did you get that?
No, Gaurav, in fact, I got confused even more.
Okay, so let me give you an example.
Yeah.
Okay, so what happens, say for example, you are a company, okay, and I am bank, okay, and I am coming to you for a project and I'm asking you, hey Bobby, do you have a check balance system in your place, which with single click you are able to give the balance details to our customers? So can you develop such kind of a system? So understand, everyone in this entire world in layman terms is a what is a customer, but for a person who is coming to you for a work, that person will be for sure a customer. Okay, and anything and any such system which you are going to provide the service, and you are going to develop some stuff, then what is going to happen is this. Just give me a second, I'm getting something. Yeah, so what is going to happen, you are going to develop some item, so you are going to work for them. So for end user you are going to develop something. So those are the consumer, okay, who are the end user, those are the consumer. But to make things available for your consumer, you are some service provider, or you have some product which has been designed by someone, right?
Yes. Thank you. Yep. It's making sense now, because all of a sudden I realized some doctors also say their patients, their customers.
Yeah. They say that. So let me start before. Give me a second.
And Gaurav, can I take 1 more minute, please?
Yeah.
On the same subject, in conjunction to the same subject, now I've got 5 different names. One is client, other is customer, then it is stakeholder, then it is product owner, and then it is PMOS and C-level. What's the difference?
In what? What is the difference in what?
The customer, stakeholder, product owner, client, I thought they all are one and the same.
Gaurav, can I just go ahead with this? Then
Yeah,
I
yeah,
can
please go ahead.
request you.
Please,
Yes.
please, please.
So, first of all, thank you so much, Bobby, that though you were not
Hello,
there in the
Prerna.
session,
Yeah.
yeah, hello, very good evening. So, you
Hello.
have
Hi.
come up with pretty good doubts or questions. To answer your current question, we will be discussing roles in details, but as of now, out of these five, customer and clients are more or less similar or same. Others like stakeholders, product owner, PMOs, every role is different, and we will study that. So
Okay.
I don't wish to bombard you right now, because once the topic comes and we will give you a comparative analysis or
Mhm.
explanation of which role is what is a stakeholder. I mean, we have, I think, an entire or like half of the session on stakeholder management in coming days, right, Gaurav? We
Okay.
have an entire session dedicated to that.
Yes,
So
yes.
so give some time. Let us go ahead with the
Mhm.
session, and even after that, if you have some doubts, you are most welcome. And
Not a
everybody else,
problem. Yeah.
yeah, everybody else also can come up with the doubts. But I can now we should start with our session for the day.
Yeah,
Yes, Gaurav.
so yeah. So my PPT is taking time, so I was just stealing opportunity to answer him. So thank you, Prernaji, but still, I think will require some seconds because it is just uh, hanging and going ahead. However, means did you get some clarity, Bobby? I mean that we are going to cover it. Okay, so just
Yes, please. Yep. Yep.
yeah,
Mm.
yeah. So
And
only
all
make
and sorry,
yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
Yeah,
Go
sorry.
ahead.
Please.
No, no, you complete.
In the same thing, I could also not understand who the vendor is, and hopefully, I'll get to know in coming days.
Yeah, yeah, sure, sure.
Yeah.
So just these are the simple terms, client is who is giving you work, customer is the consumer, vendor is where you are getting few bits or pieces getting work for someone. Okay, so those are vendor. Okay, so it's something like that. For me, yeah, yeah,
Gaurav,
Prerna.
if your PPT is taking time, I would just like to
Yeah, please,
explain in
please,
my
please.
current yes. So Bobby ji, I work in Axis Bank. Okay, I'll give you an example of all these terms that you're asking for, and this is for everybody. I think
Mm-hmm.
Priya and Deepti might have heard this earlier in the earlier session. So you asked, I'll give you simple four explanation. What is a vendor, what is a customer, and what is a stakeholder, right? These are
Mm-hmm.
essential. We will go to product owner and others later, because those are scrum specific, but these
Mm-hmm.
terminologies are very commonly used, and at times you don't understand what is what. Okay, so I work in Axis Bank IT department. Our main role is to provide software application IT solutions to the bank. Okay, so what is the difference? We are IT team, we belong to Axis Bank, but most of the times our customer or our consumer or our users or the Axis Bank different teams. For example, as an IT team, I cater to mobile banking team, I cater to credit card team, I cater to loans and deposits team, I cater to so what happens? A credit card team comes and tells me, "Hey, we want to have a software wherein we can track the credit card usage from start till end, and we need to ensure how their spending is going, how their expenditure curve looks like." So then Access IT team will prepare a software or an application for that team. So in that scenario, me being a team, my consumer or my client would be, because it is within the bank, would be my credit card team. Okay, same
Okay.
scenario. Imagine if I'm working for Accenture, where when I was a part of Accenture, and that time I had a client, say ICICI Bank, right? So that time, as a organization, my client was a bank, or my client was any other consumer. So this depends who, rightly that way that Gaurav explained. Whoever comes with a requirement asking for some solutions to you, those are your customers or those are your clients. That is one thing. Okay, are you clear on that? So whoever
Yep.
we
Yep. Very much. Yeah.
yes, yes. So that is one thing. Second, vendors. Okay, now this is a little tricky term, but very easy to understand. Vendors are the people who provide you solutions or who provide resources. Like, what do you mean by solutions and resources? In Axis Bank, as a same example, I would like to continue that we want to create a software for credit card team. The technology, or the framework which they want us to use, just imagine Azure, for example. Just Azure they want to use of cloud technology, and what, for whatever reasons, we do not have that capability with us, or we do not have those developers, engineers with us. Then what we will do, we will hire a vendor, per se TCS. We do have TCS employees, right? So TCS is a company, or any other third party like, for example, the best example would be Guru Schools in this scenario, actually. So Guru Schools have people who have worked on cloud, who have worked on Azure. So Axis Bank will hire their people, and they will work on our behalf to cater to the credit card team to develop the software. So people, or organizations who provide resources, that in their team members, or people who work on, as well as solutions. So sometimes what happens, we buy a smaller, or enterprise software. Like, for example, when we use Oracle software, or when we use Finacle applications, or when we use any CRM applications, so they belong to the different company itself. We use a subscription, we use a membership, or we take the rights and work on it. So in that scenario, they become our vendors. So vendors are the people, or an organization, or a group of organizations. There can be many vendors, right? So they provide you the resources that we need, or the applications that we need to complete our delivery, or to cater to our clients. So are we good on PMO? Are we good on vendor and client and customers?
Yes, yes, I got an idea, and I'm sure with the coming classes, things will be much more clearer to me.
Definitely. Now, last but not the least, because it is close to my heart, it's PMO. That stands for Project Management Office, because I work as a PMO. It's my role.
Okay.
So what a PMO does is, PMO is a person or a group of people in a team wherein we cater to variety of what I say, applications or projects. So I work in retail liabilities asset, wherein all the loans and deposits and all those related applications are handled by my boss, or my reporting manager, who is a vertical head. He's a senior VP in Axis Bank. So my responsibility, or a PMO's responsibility, is to track and ensure all the projects. So I'm not a project manager catering to one project, or PMO is not a person for who is just tagged to one project, but then they have a 360 degrees view to all the projects, and they are responsible for being or keeping everything aligned into their vertical. So projects, audit things, any observations, any findings, any production issues, whatever is very critical for that vertical. I'm not asking for day to day. They mostly cater to that. Now, this role does changes as per organization, as per their seniors wants, or a seniors requirements, or organization requirement. But this simple difference between a project manager and a PMO is that PMO is not tagged to only single project, and they handle multiple projects and multiple other responsibilities also. So I think this is good enough to get all of you started on these roles. And today we will look at them in detail. Yes, Gauravji.
Yeah, thank you so much. So we are going to look at it in really details. So thank you so much. Hope this thing, my PPT is visible to you guys. Yeah?
Yes, it is.
Okay, thank you so much, Dipti, for confirmation. And can I get yeses from each one of you that you can see the PPT?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, thanks, Priya. Thanks, Bobby. Thanks, Dipti. Priyanka, are you there? Can you see the... Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay. So, yeah. So, we have done tools touch base. We knew about Agile Scrum, its benefits, its facts, value and principle of agility and Scrum values. And you were given some assignments as well. So, assignment was what? Just to go ahead and do what? Just to go ahead and touch base iScrum. How many of you go ahead and just logged in and played somewhat ice cream, explore something, try to understand what exactly it does?
I did.
Okay, thank you, Dipti.
Yes, I did too. I
Thank you,
created a
Priya.
project and kind of got used to the terminologies that's on the app.
Awesome. Great. What about you, Priyanka?
Yeah, I did go on the iScrum. I also watched a video as well as, got a chance to do there. So yeah, got to know some terminology, and I have, I think, a few terminologies which I couldn't understand. But I think, as you are, kind of taking the slides one by one, I think I'll be able to relate more.
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much, and appreciate that you guys went ahead and did explore by yourself. Awesome. What about you, Bobby? Could you go ahead and learn about iScrum or any other tool?
Yes, Gaurav. I tried to visit iScrum.com, but unfortunately, I couldn't pick much of the things because it is not very explanatory.
Okay.
But one thing I thought, it is a tool to gather the user story tickets. I think, but I could be wrong.
Yeah. Well done. No. So it's right. So have you ever used any kind of such tool like iScrum, Jira, or something like that?
Never.
Yeah. Okay, no worries. So in coming days, you will be. Yeah, Dipti, you were hiding something.
Gaurav, it was actually. I'm not sure if Dipti wanted to add. I actually wanted to add something. I just wanted to add something to this conversation. Like, as Navdeep said, so I was, Navdeep, I also was having the same problem. So what I did was, if it's of any help to you, I just went on YouTube and watched a video where they explained the whole, how it works, what are the icons. And so I was able to relate. That helped me to kind of, explain things better. So that's what I did. If it helps you, I think that would be okay. Just wanted to share.
Definitely. Yeah. Thanks, Priyanka. Thank you very much. Yeah. I'll go through that. Yeah.
Awesome, Priyanka, and appreciate your proactiveness. It's really appreciable. Thank you so much. So guys, the another important part which we missed to tell you, not missed exactly, but this is now the right time where you need to follow some system as a part of some system. Now you guys are advised to start developing your LinkedIn connections. Okay, create LinkedIn connection, show up over there, and tell to the audience, rather update your profile as in you are already working with Guru Schools. Because tomorrow when you are approaching to the companies has already the visibility that this guy or this girl or this lady, they are hooked with some another company, they have the association. Tomorrow they won't be surprised when what happens exactly, their recruitment team keep on hunting the job seekers as well. Not only job seekers hunt employees, so also employee hunt the and vice versa. It's not about only employee to employers, but also from employer to employees. Did you get me? So just update your LinkedIn profile and show over there that you are working with Guru Schools already. So for that you need to also undergo a resume ready, reference ready preparation, which happens every Tuesday and Thursday. So till here I am clear. Yeah, the action item which I gave it to you just now.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you, guys. So today we are going to look more about Scrum roles, events, planning, and sprints. So let's see how much we can look at it. Okay, so Bobby was asking about these roles, about product owner, Scrum team, and Scrum master and development team. So we are basically dedicated our entire stuff today on this point itself. So your product owner is in product owner is in agile words. He or she comes with two better skills: one, project management skill, or also somewhat of business analysis skill. Okay, so in the agile world there are three important roles. Scrum master is the one who is taking care of all the arrangement, all the responsibility. We will be knowing what kind of leader this Scrum master is, what he has to do, what he has not to do. However, development team comprises of business analyst, technical architect, or DevOps team, or say, for example, what do you call, testers, developers, or something like that. Now, if you may ask, what is DevOps team and all? So what is architect and all? So architects and all, these are the person who keeps on designing the integral parts between the actual software, how it works, and actual in the backend, how it will be working, and what things will be integrating backend and front end, what all the layer of the intercommunication will be involved. So those people are responsible for that. Okay, so they have nothing to do but specific to, business analysis or something, but these people are more or less responsible for the layers, the communication layers. Are you getting me? I'm talking about architect. And they are also part of the development team. When we are talking about development team, we can also call them scrum team or development team. Okay, don't get yourself worried. Hey, in the development team, when we are calling, only developers will be there. No. So inside developer team, you will also find some tester who will test the software which is being developed or which has been developed. Okay, product owner is only kind of a project manager who has access to client as well. So manages self, creates done increment. When I'm talking about done increments, means they keep on working on user story. Okay, user story is a smaller part of a bigger plan. Bigger plan means bigger requirement. Okay, and entirely this is called as scrum team. This is product owner. He manages or she manages the product backlog we told you with the last time with the example of bread loaf. So it optimizes value of the product, then manage the scrum process, remove impediments. So he makes sure that while team is working, not any single hurdle is appearing for development team, and work is smoother. So Prerna, would you like to take the next slide? Yeah. Okay, the next slide is the bigger one, explaining something. Just let me bring this. Yeah, scrum role briefing. Yes, go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, this.
So what Gaurav was just explaining right now, it's an extension to that. And you know what, Bobby ji, I was just having this thought that we were to take the roles and you didn't know about the syllabus, and still you asked the related questions. So that was like that. That means we are aligned. So that's really nice. So yes, these roles are specific to Scrum and mostly used in any agile format, and whenever we are following Scrum. So basically, as Gaurav said, product owner. Product owner is a person by the name itself says he is an owner, wherein he basically owns the entire process and the entire Scrum methodology for that particular project. So what does he do? He has one of the most I would say rights in the form of talking to the stakeholders, talking to the customers, talking with the team. He has around 360 degrees visibility of what is happening in our project, what is happening in sprint wise. So he has a specific rights which are not given to others. For example, he can alter the scope. Alter the scope as in whenever a customer comes in, if I want to continue my earlier example of credit card, team asking for an end-to-end credit card journey or credit card application journey per se. So product owner, being the product owner, he can actually negotiate and he can ask for certain changes, or he can request that the client or customers to do some do some tweaks, or if that there is no technical feasibility, if there is some other what do you say, as per the requirement, the things are not feasible to be developed upon, he can definitely raise his concern and he can talk to the customer. Trust me, others can only discuss, but they cannot actually alter it. So he has given the additional right or authority that he can alter the scope, definitely after talking to the customer, after talking to senior management, after taking their approval, but at least he can initiate it. So it's a very good, very important right, I would say, that he can alter the scope if required. It's not that every day he decides, let's change the scope today. No, whenever he feels that the feasibility is not there and we need to tweak it or we need to talk to customers, he has the rights and he is responsible. He is responsible for return or investment. That means whatever we are in, we are giving the input for this project. Are we getting the enough output out of it? As in, are we sticking to the budget? Are we within the timelines? Are we not crossing or passing any deadlines which would hamper our budget in the form of deadlines, or in case we had to hire some resources which were not in the organization, or we are taking from vendors, so additional funds or additional budget is going into that. So basically, being the product owner, he needs to ensure that whatever we are working on has a good returns on the inputs, and in short, we are in profits and we're not making any losses, if I have to talk in a layman's term. Because business is is actually supposedly and is done for profit making. So he needs to ensure whatever we are working on, product delivery, project delivery, application, creation, everything is in a favorable manner to the organization. It is not incurring any losses, or there are no budget constraints in that. Okay. And one of the very important thing, that he conveys the vision to the stakeholders of the team. Okay. Now this is a good time to give you at least a little bit information about the term stakeholder. So when I say stakeholder, it simply means all the people or the team who holds the stake in that particular project. It's a simple explanation in English. That means if I'm working on a particular project, if we take an example of Accenture working for a ICICI Bank project, then Accenture development team, Accenture management, Accenture senior management, MDs, or all that, those are the stakeholders. Because whenever we work on a project, the direct or indirect implications are or how it is impacting to the hierarchy or the people who are involved in it, right? So first of all, your development team is a stakeholder. Vendors who are working on that product or project, they are your stakeholders. Your senior management who is giving you approvals for budget, they are the stakeholders. Your MDs, your hierarchical seniors, they are your stakeholders. And ultimately the customers or end users, they are also your stakeholders. So stakeholders are a people or set of people or teams or organizations who has a direct vested interest in your project, and depending on the delivery or how far it goes, they are concerned about it, because the budget, the resources, the outcome is involved, and they are directly associated with it. So am I clear on the term stakeholder to the teams? Though we have a different session, but I just wanted to give the glance, because we have this uh, point mentioned here. Does anybody had any doubt on the stakeholders to the team or stakeholders to the project terminology? Anybody, especially Bobby ji, aap ko hai any doubt? No, are we good?
I'm happy. I'm good. Yep. Thank you.
Great.
Thanks for the explanation. Yeah.
Oh, most welcome. Anybody else? Priya, Priyanka, Dipti, anybody?
No, thank you. No, I think we got it.
No.
Yeah. That was well explained.
Yeah.
Super. Because why am I going to everybody? Because these terms, many a times in just a flow of discussion, use interchangeably, and that time we tend to get confused. Hey, what is a vendor, and who is now a stakeholder in this? Because what happens, we mainly focus on day-to-day work, but then yes, when we work in an organization and this kind of discussion happens, it's good to have clarity of roles. That's why I'm emphasizing. So yes, and the last sentence is also connected with this not only with the team, but he also communicates with the stakeholder about progress and problems. So product owner is like a, what do I say, bridge which fills in the gap, or rather the communication gap with your uh, you know direct final customer, your development team, your senior management or management of the organization, or your vendors. So he has that authority and he has that right, and as well as he has that much responsibility. He is, he will be mentioned, and if in case there is any abrupt situation in that particular project. So yes, he is the product owner. He or she, I may call it. Now we come to Scrum Master role. Scrum Master is a person who definitely assists the product owner in taking decisions, and who is who is also a very responsible person, or it is a very responsible role from the point of view of organizing all the important meetings or ceremonies, we call it, in Scrum. And basically, Scrum Master is very closely associated with your Scrum team. That's why his name is also Scrum Master. So basically, he manages, and he's there, kind of like a leader. So he's also called as a servant leader because uh, he not only leads, along with that he ensure that team is with him. So day-to-day activities, sprint planning, sprint review meetings, and all these meetings which are essential part of Scrum methodology, we will come to them later and sometime. All these are conducted by him, so he has to set up these meetings, send invites, call people, ensure that everybody is on the same page, what requirements the team is working on, and ultimately that results in delivering and ensuring that everything is going as per deadline, and the team is achieving overall goal. So if I have to compare, in such case, a product owner has a very high visibility, I mean, a 360-degree view of the entire work process, whereas Scrum Master, he deals with the Scrum team on day-to-day manner, and along with product owner, he is more involved as compared to product owner in the development process, in the day-to-day work or job. He's there to ensure that team is working smoothly. They do not face any challenges, maybe technical, functional, or there should not be any communication gap between whatever the not requirements they have. So yes, this is the role. This role can be a little bit technical or semi-technical role. There are people at this level who also work on development, as in hands-on coding, and there are people who are purely functional, but they manage, but they do have a technical background, so they handle the team from that point of view. So yes, this is Scrum Master. And then last but not the least, we have the Scrum team, which is the uh, set of people who work on on these projects, or on in agile methodology, wherein agile fashion, wherein a Scrum team will involve different types of what I will say, skilled employees or resources. There are developers, there are testers, there are BAs, there's a business analyst, there might be some designer, everybody. So we just call them as a Scrum team. Here we are not specific to their resources, because as a whole they comprise of Scrum team, and they work towards achieving the deadline and delivering. So their main goal is sprint goal, right? Sprint is a set of duration starting from maybe 1 or 2 weeks to 4 to 6 weeks, wherein you have given you take certain requirements, or item artifacts from your product backlog. I think everybody knows what's a product backlog. Gaurav has given a very good example of bread loaf. So all that they're taking the requirements and the delivering. Scrum team works closely with Scrum Master, and uh, to understand the priority of the things to work on. So there might be 1 to 10 tasks, but maybe number 5, number 6, number 9 tasks may be more important. So uh, So Scrum Master has that visibility more than the team. So he'll recommend or he'll suggest them to go ahead with these things first. And Scrum teams are mostly very well functioned and highly motivated. So they do not need much of a governance because they're self motivated. They know what environment they're working on. Their bond and trust levels are very high between one another, because within this short period of time you have to deliver so much in such a quick environment where customer is talking to you daily or on alternate day basis. So they are very tightly knit, and then that's why they ensure that they deliver on time in absence of some other resources, how to cover it up or how to deliver still what was planned. And Scrum team generally, and rather, has to attend every startup meeting, stand-up meeting and ceremonies wherein the stand-up meeting, I think Gaurav had explained, I'm not sure, but it's just like what the word suggests, stand-up meeting. So basically, this meeting means you're supposed to stand in that meeting, and that meeting is supposed to be super quick. I mean, if you end that meeting in 5 to 10 minutes, way to go. But generally it doesn't take more than that. So stand-up meeting is a meeting wherein only 3 questions are supposed to be asked and answered by everybody. That those will be: what I worked on yesterday, what I'll be working on today, and or rather what I'll be achieving today, and third, if there are any impediments, challenges, or obstacles I'm facing, I need to highlight. That's it. So in my earlier organizations, or even currently in Axis, some of the projects are in Agile. They do have stand-up meetings wherein everybody is very quick. They're like, okay, I finished that maybe requirement number 150. Today I'll be working on requirement number 151. If you want to give some brief, whatever, it's up to you. And yes, I'm facing this challenge that my machine is not working fine, or this software is not, downloaded, or whatever may be the issue, or I am not clear with some of the things, that you can put it forward, so then the Scrum Master and product owner knows that we are on the same, right? And basically their issues or their concerns are addressed into this meeting. So that's why these meetings are very important for them also to attend. Not only they have to give their feedback or their responses, but they also get required support from the Scrum Master and product owner in case they require. So this is in short what are the important Scrum roles are, and you can be put into any of the roles. Is just we should know as an employee how Agile and Scrum works, and then we are good to go. This is no rocket science. Trust me, it's a very good and fast methodology to deliver on time and very effectively. As we learned earlier, because the customer is involved in every process, we know which direction we are going on and we know what we are working on. So that gives, as a Scrum team, also a good confidence that yes, we are on the right path, and this is how we have to keep delivering. So Gauravji, I'll just request you if you want to add something on this.
Yeah, thank you so much, Prerna ji, for taking time and explaining this all the roles. So yeah, thank you so much. So guys, so whatever Prerna ji has just now spoken, so just with that, I'm just adding a couple of lines. Product owner, as she said, that this is the connector for you as a Scrum team and the customer as well. So he's the engine which is translating all the communication between each other, customer as well as the Scrum team, where you see the development team. She has explained about the development team and all, and also about the Scrum Master. Only one important thing is that Scrum Master is the highly and highly exploited role, because he or she does not need to have technical knowledge. But now the industry requirement is changing, because it is Agile, it is Scrum. Things has to change, and they come up with the various requirement that they may expect that Scrum Master has to do this, that, and various things. So but always keep in mind, to just get into the industry, you need to you need to be a little bit, open-minded to accept the things. And so that once you are getting into that, then you are making sure as a Scrum Master, you are making the industry to abide by with the Scrum guide. Okay. So any question over here in this slide, because I'm going to move to the next one. No question?
No. I guess we are good.
Oh, really? Okay. Then I have a question for you. The question is this, that here you see the product owner, here you see the Scrum Master, and here is you are seeing the Scrum team. Why this man in the picture grayed out as a shadow? Why he is standing standalone? What is the answer? Any answer? Any guesses? Quick. You can say no idea. You can say he's developer. Okay, one answer. Any another?
Maybe he is the, like, the business, the stakeholder, the client.
Yeah, I was going to say that, the customer or the client. Yeah.
Okay. So you all deserve the round of applause. So just give yourself a pat on the back or round of applause, because your guesses are in the right direction. Thank you. So he is the stakeholder, and stakeholder, as Prerna ji has already explained, the all people involved in the project, interested in the project, are the stakeholders. But also, the sponsors. Have you heard of this sponsor? Because there would be someone who is financing the customer to reach to you, if you are a company, if you are organization or enterprises, to resolve their problem. Problem is nothing but the project. I have mentioned you already earlier that whenever any project comes in, whenever any problem comes in, just treat it or just call it as a what? Project. Okay, so here you are going to read that stakeholder has to keep a healthy relationship with product owner in order to share every detail regarding his project. Okay, so more and less in this slide, when we are talking about stakeholder, so mainly it is coming from the client ends. Okay, client end and sponsors. So more closely you can work, you can think from that perspective. However, every single person involved in the project are called as stakeholder on a by and large basis. The stakeholder is responsible for conveying his wishes and concern to the product owner, or else the product owner would not be responsible for his project quality and time duration. So yeah, customer has to convey and sponsor has to convey to the product owner of customer, and customer has to convey their concern to the product owner of the working community of the people to whom the work has been given. Okay, so it has to be a totally transparent communication, that what is expected, what is not expected, what has to be worked, what has not to be worked. The stakeholder has to provide regular input to queries from product owner. Say for example, you are the company, you have been given some assignment to work upon, but frequently you may come up with certain question. You will send email to the customer, and customer or say sponsors, customer will go to sponsor or business user taking your question, and it's a stakeholder's responsibility that every single question has been answered. Okay, and stakeholders are prioritizing the work effectively with product owner is another job that the stakeholder has to do to ensure his project development is ongoing, and keep taking updates or keep giving updates regarding any change in the plan. So it's mostly about your responsibility as a customer and also as a sponsor. So in nutshell, a stakeholder, when he is a grayed out, so it is representing the client, it is representing the sponsors, business users and all. So from other side of the window. So it's all about stakeholders. Now, let's come back to Scrum event. Prerna ji has already covered about one Scrum event, which we have spent time about the 10 minutes of standing. So that's why this is called as stand-up meeting. Okay. So you are with me. You remember about stand-up meeting Prerna ji was talking a while ago?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So that is one ceremony, and this is also called as daily scrum. So Prernaji, would you like to take ahead in this ceremony part?
Gauraji, yes. We just discussed about first is your product backlog and your release planning. Then you have your sprint planning, then your daily scrum meetings, then you have sprint review and sprint retrospective. So I'll just start with how your sprint planning works. So before starting any of the sprints, we have a meeting with all the stakeholders, that is your product owner, your scrum master, your team, and if in case any senior management wants to be a part of it, but generally it's most of the scrum meeting, and we discuss whatever requirements are given by the customers, and what will be their priority, what is the deadline we are looking at, how much duration of the sprint will be considered. Generally this is decided at the beginning only. So if it is a 2 week sprint, that means we roughly have 14 or 10 days if it is a 5 working day schedule to work on these tasks. So how these tasks will be allocated, all that things are discussed. Also, if it is a first meeting, then we have a fresh stock to be taken from the sprint backlog. In case if it is subsequent sprint planning, then we get back to the sprint backlog and check and ensure that in earlier sprint, if anything was left or due to priority, or due to given priority, or in this current sprint, if the customer is asking for some additional or some different requirements which were not part of this sprint earlier, how to see. Basically, we all sit and discuss what has to be the order or priority in which we have to do the development, right? So all that is explained. We need to, as a scrum master and product owner, take a stock of the resources. Like, do we have the required technical skills for the same? That all is discussed and understood. So basically your time, your budget, your skills understanding, your requirements understanding. So this all is expected, and this all is discussed during this meeting. So that gives a clarity to all the team members and everybody who is involved in the project. Then I have explained, let's see, sprint, it has been shown 1 to 4 weeks. So generally sprints can be of 1 week and it can reach up to 6 weeks, but it depends. Generally sprints are considered for 2 to 3 weeks. 2 weeks is, I suppose, I mean, I've worked on sprints which were for 2 weeks. So that's like an ideal period because, in a month you're delivering 2 sprints. And yes, sprint review is a meeting wherein after the sprint, towards the closure of the sprint, you sit and you get a review of how well you have done. I mean, what have you delivered? Not how well, what have you delivered, and how was the overall process. And sprint review is generally given to the customer and to the end user. So that basically we showcase whatever we have developed and whatever we are delivering to them. So it's like a presentation to the final users or the customers, wherein they know that what we have worked upon, and we get their first hand response on that. So it's a very small yet very important event wherein we all sit. The customer comes in and they share their views and whatever we've delivered. So it's like a presentation slash meeting wherein we get to know the feedback as well. And the last but not the least, a sprint retrospective is a very essential or other important event wherein once the sprint gets over and before the next sprint starts, we have to retrospect what are things went good, how well we performed, where we could have performed better, or what we could have achieved more, and where we lacked, and what kind of changes we should have in our team, or maybe skill set, or resource diversity, whatever. So all the learning part comes in the retrospective. That is why it is called as retrospective. But these are some essential events. Definitely, you can have a lot of information on Google on this from authorized sites, but this is the base what you need to understand. Other apart from that, there will be many details pertaining to some organizations, you know. So, but this is the common background of these events. Gaurav, would you like to add to
Yep.
this?
Thank you so much, Prerna, for explaining so well. So yeah, guys, so understand this is a very simple retrospective. It's nothing but retro inspection. Means in the past, whatever you have done has to be inspected. Okay, and once that's done, it means you are good to go and plan something new. Okay, and when you are planning something new, let's welcome new slice in the plate, new cherry slice in the plate to consume, and work on each and every single corner, who is going to take which single corner. Okay, and then we will work again 1 to 4 weeks, and once it is ready, then as Prerna ji has said, go ahead to the sprint review. Means every single corner will be presented to some person who is looking inside your plate with thinking that this is going to come delicious, a wonderful dish in front of me. That person will be knowing more about how this dish has been, garnished, what all the ingredients inside, how it is going to be so much sumptuous for them. So something like that. It's all about presentation. So as Prerna ji has told, and but before getting into over there, every single day, you will be talking about these three things, which we call it as a daily scrum stand-up meeting. And once you are completely satisfied with sprint review, then you are shipping that deliverable or shippable product to the customer, and then once again heading back towards the retrospective. So this is as clear as it has been multiple times from last working day we have spoken to you. So it should be much clear. So is it clear for you guys? Can you say yes and no if it is not?
Yes.
Yes. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your yeses. So I believe this yes is from everyone, even though I heard two only. Okay. So on this note, I am moving further, and here is the ceremony. So what is ceremony? The first ceremony is sprint planning. That you need to understand very well. What is the purpose behind it? So the purpose behind the sprint planning is to create the sprint backlog and identify the sprint goal that the entire Scrum team is committing to over the course of the sprint. So what exactly in sprint planning going to happen? It will be attended by everyone. Scrum Master makes sure. Now understand the Scrum Master's responsibility. He is a servant leader. He will make sure that in which room what kind of ceremony is being celebrated. That's number one. And number two, he will make sure that every ceremony should be celebrated. Okay, should be celebrated. It should not be boring meeting only. So also before starting off the meeting, he is making sure every single stuff, say for example sticky notes, whiteboard, marker pen, and remaining stationery, table on time, chairs in time, everyone is available before time, and any another instrument which is required to run the meeting, every single thing he is going to make sure is available. That is Scrum Master's role. Okay, so because he is servant leader, so he will not ever think that my team member should be taking the responsibility of small stuff and making things available for themselves. So that's why he is called as a servant leader. And in the sprint planning meeting, what exactly happens that from the entire available requirement, it is sliced into the smaller piece of the requirement. The highest priority or the immediately required items are taken into the consideration in this ceremony, in the sprint planning. And then people talk about here, its complexity. They encourage every team member to discuss about this and negotiate this every single item, every single slice of the requirement, that how long it will take for team to complete it, be it from development side, be it from technical architect design side, be it from testing side, be it from documentation side. They ensure the product backlog, these all which are being discussed inside the ceremony, it has been ordered well, and it has been ordered well and completed by the product owner before sprint planning begins. Why it has to be completed by product owner? Because he is very well now clear about the vision of the client, which he has to translate in front of you, so that you should be adhere with the client's vision as well. What happens when everyone on the same page? So keeping everyone on same page, it is product owner's responsibility. And once the sprint goal is set, it can be broken by the product owner, but should remain relevant throughout the course of the sprint. And sprint is what? Nothing but duration. Last time we spoke about it. So yeah, so that's about sprint planning. Any question in sprint planning so far? Has it come so easy till now?
Yes.
Yes, I'm good. Yeah.
Thank you, Prerna. Priyanka, you are there with us?
Yes.
Thank you. So Dipti, Priyanka, Bobby, and Priya, thank you so much. Let's move to the next ceremony. Prerna, would you like to take daily scrum and sprint review? Daily scrum we have spoken, sprint review as well, but yeah, if you would like to, we can.
If you want to continue, you can continue, Gaurav. I don't have any issues.
Okay, so daily stand-up, we have spoken. Everyone has to be involved. Sprint review is nothing but a demo, and we have to present to the client. Okay, so I don't think any questions should be there about even daily scrum and sprint review. Are you good with daily scrum now and sprint review? So yes, what is the purpose, who attends, and these are some tips and tricks. Okay, so we have spoken about all these tips and tricks.
I just feel that we should give them some time to let all this sink in, because telling more and more, there might be some instant bail in their mind. So I just want.
Let's do in the another way around. Like we have spoken multiple times, Prerna ji. So what I want. You can choose someone and we will ask them whether they have understood it or not. They will explain us that what they have.
Or they just can, instead of explaining, they just can give a one-liner about
yeah. That's what
that will
I
be
mean.
great.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So I think I would request Priya to share about what is. I will start with it. What is a sprint planning meeting? Why it is held, and you can give me a 1-2 liner. You don't have to explain in detail. What did you understand by Scrum planning meeting?
Sprint planning, right?
Yeah, sorry. Sprint planning. My bad. Sprint planning.
Yeah, just to develop and organize. I don't know how to put it.
It's okay. Plain English works. No worries.
Just develop and formulate a list of items to be done in that particular time frame.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I got.
Okay, right. So sprint planning is basically planning the upcoming sprint, what has to be worked upon, how many resources we have, what is the timelines we have. Just think on the lines of any other daily chores or activities we do on personal, in personal life. If you have to go grocery shopping, if you have to plan an event or birthday parties or anything. Okay, what is my budget? What is my deadline? Who will be helping me? You know what happens? I personally feel, whenever we connect these examples with our real life situation, it can be cooking, planning, working, anything. It's very relevant to us. We can relate, and right now, when we were talking, you could really imagine, right? Because you must be running errands for all these things, and you know how it is. If somebody is visiting your home, what is the requirement planning that you have? Need to check in what we have at home, what is the timeline. So yes, sprint planning is also like any other plan. Okay, Priya, I want you to take somebody else's name and we can ask them about some another event.
Yes, Priyanka.
Okay, So Priyanka, yeah, can you please tell us what did you understand by a Scrum meeting?
Yeah.
Sorry, stand-up meeting. Why am I saying stand-up meeting? I think I'm hungry.
Yeah.
It's almost breakfast time. Yes, yes. What do you understand by stand-up meeting? Yes.
Yeah. So what I understood about the stand-up meeting was it involves every member of the team, and it's a very short meeting where the three questions which kind of you answer is like what you did yesterday, what you're going to do today, and the third one is like, do they have any hurdles in accomplishing their task? So that is what.
Priyanka, 1 second. I'm just clapping. Superb.
Why we can't
yes,
together.
you got it. I mean, if you're telling these three questions in these proper words, and this is for everybody, that is it. You know what is Scrum. You are good to go in Scrum. That's it.
To add, I think I have my big picture of coffee right beside me. So that
that helps. That helps. I love to work when there is food around, because your mind is getting some food and your body is also, so you're in alignment. So yes, definitely. But you know what, Priyanka, the way you use those words, they were perfect. These are the terminologies which you're supposed to use in your interviews. This is what you need to understand from the process point of view or from the implementation point of view. Yes. You want to add something to that, or you're done?
No, thank you. I think I'm done.
So before you call out, before Priyanka calls out someone's name, let me add over here, this meeting is not mandatory for product owner. Okay, it is optional for him, but rest of them has to attend it. So must for rest of them, but optional for product owner. Yeah, back to Priyanka and Prernaji.
Perfectly, sir. Priyanka, take somebody's name, please.
Navdeep.
Yes, Bobby ji. Okay, can you please tell us about sprint review? I'm just going in order.
The review is once the sprint backlog has been decided, and the developers have developed the product, and then the review, if it is good, and the review with the product owner, in the presence of product owner, in the presence of the business, all the people who are a part of this project, and everything will be reviewed properly, that everything has gone right, and product owner is satisfied. Yes, I got the product the way I wanted.
Okay, I would just like to tweak it a little. Instead of product owner saying that, okay, this is what we got it, we basically even have a review with the customers or the client. So product owner is like an internal stakeholder who owns the entire process, but ultimately we are delivering or catering this to our end users, our customers outside the organizations, like any for whom we are working, who will be, who will be billing to, who we will be billing to, or who will be giving us the required, profit making or maybe funds. So for them, their review is also important. Gauravji, would you like to add on to this?
Yeah, sure. So stakeholder here, when it comes review is nothing but demo. So whatever is being developed or whatever is about to be shipped, you are simply representing that to the customer. Hey, this is what you are going to receive it. Are you okay with that? Because our sprint is about to get over, and you are presenting the piece of developed item to the customer, telling them that this is how it is going to work, and customer may give you the feedback. Okay, I want this cross button has to be like this user interface look like this color should be more in gradient or something like that. Small a small what a feedback. So it's a feedback loop from customer and from your end what you have developed from customer end. Okay, it's okay to accept, or some improvisation, some improvement they are looking for. So just take this sprint review as a demo to the client. So is it okay? Is Bobby is clear now?
Yes, please. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Welcome.
Thank you,
So,
Gaurav. Thank you, Bobby. Yeah, Bobby, will you please take somebody's name?
Who is left? Deepthi?
Yeah, I'm the only one left.
Yes, Deepthi. Last but not the least, definitely. Please explain us what is sprint retrospective. What did you understand by that?
I guess you're gonna check the final product if and then after that you're gonna discuss that if there's anything you need to add into that, if there's anything you wanted to change. So you're basically reviewing the whole thing about the product, and then you're gonna um, put that in a backlog, but it's not gonna be your immediate thing. You're gonna do that when everything is done. So I don't know whether I explained that correctly.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Definitely, you have given proper details, but I just want to add.
So I will, Prerna, I'm just gonna give you simple example. Like for example, you gave the example of a birthday party, right? So when you're done with the birthday party, then after that you discuss, oh my God, what could have been done more better? Can I, like, for the next time if I want to arrange the party, then I want to add something into that,
so simple things like that. Okay, not all the kids like blueberry cheesecake. I might go with a simple chocolate cake, or we were short on the snacks. We should have more of it, or what will be the better return gift I would give. So in the similar fashion, just on the same lines, in introspective, along with the technical or development items, we also take a stock or understand, okay, what we could have developed better, as in what kind of resources I would require in case I want to have a faster delivery, or if I want my current resources or team members to get more skilled, or how more effectively I could have planned, or yes, we achieved this was a great success, we should be leaning towards more that, like, yes, we should follow this pattern, that's really working good. And so whatever we've worked upon, what were our learnings in short, and whatever we could have improved upon. So retrospective is one of my favorite word, because it actually helps you to go ahead in your personal life, in your life also. Once you sit and you kind of have a retrospection of what has happened. So it's not just being in the past, but taking learnings from the past and making its use for a better future or better tomorrow. So it might sound a little spiritual, but yes, this is what we do in sprint retrospective. You understand what was the earlier sprint and how it all happened, and what you could have done better, and what you can learn more, what you did best, and then with that help, we go ahead with the next sprint. So along with product, yes, product project, along with that, people, processes, technologies, everything, whatever you feel like. So yes, Gaurav, do you want to add something to this?
Yeah. So because someone was telling me, Dipti, please complete yourself, man.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to, so Prerna, like, what is happening? I just want to like understand that part. Okay, so it's like a question come a comment. Okay, so for example, if you are buying a water bottle, okay, so the next time when you go to the shop, the same water bottle, or I would just give the example of water filter actually, because we recently bought one. So we bought the same water filter, same company's water filter. Okay, so there were some changes into that. So the current one is more improved version of that water filter. So I would say that can you say that it went through a retrospective mode?
Absolutely. We have all these software updates for WhatsApp, for Facebook, for any other damn thing on our laptop. What does that happen? All these companies have their research and development unit, which they keep working on. Okay, in this product, we lack this, we better work on this, or, we should improve on the speed, we should improve on whatever, this feature, that feature. So this is a like, as kids, from babies to toddlers to kids to preteens, teens, and this is how you grow. So for any product also goes through a typical growth life cycle. It's ever evolving if they want to be in the long run, right? Do you imagine how Windows used to be in early 90s when we first got our desktop or monitor that big like a TV, especially in India, and this is big models. And now you see the laptops, the iPads, and whatnot. They are so sleek and so trendy. So this is a complete evolving process of the business, right? We as humans, we evolve from Nokia to now what all phone, and I don't know the brands you have it. They are so flashy. Earlier the phone used to be so sturdy. If you throw it on someone, they might end up getting hurt. And now the phones are so delicate. You have to ensure that even you can afford falling, not the phone. So it's a process, right? So that was a telecommunication or handset example, or yours was a water filter example. Definitely on the similar grounds, when you develop a project or application, or a website in Scrum methodology, we have to retrospect as a team, as an organization, what we could do better. See, because I just mentioned Axis, whatever, happily, sadly, luckily, they are implementing Agile, at least in my vertical in recent times, wherein I have worked with Agile 9 years back with L&T Infotech. So there are people who had adapted to these methodologies quite fast, but systems like banking and other legacy systems, they take time to evolve or to experiment or to go ahead in new methodologies. So Agile and Scrum helps you to, I'll like to put it in this way, develop as an organization, as a process, as a team, as a product pretty well. That's why the world has already shifted and it's already implementing Agile. Because in earlier scenarios, nobody gave so much of thought to all these things. They just believed in working and delivering. But there was not much of a learning because then nobody knew or nobody gave that much emphasis on. So, but nowadays, even when we talk to case, when we have review meetings in our offices also, annual review, quarterly review and stuff like that. So we know where we stand, in which direction we have to go. I'm sorry, it might sound a little off track, but it is related. That's why I shared so much of it. And it is really helpful. So when tomorrow you go into organization and they're like a review meeting, so you would know what is a review meeting. They're like, okay, we have a retrospective meeting. So you know what you're supposed to bring on the table when they say these meetings, right? So I'll encourage you to read from some authorized sites, scrum.org and stuff like that, where you'll have more information. And see, why we have these PPTs, because Google is like an ocean, you Google something and you'll reach to so many things, and at first they might sound and look so confusing. But then when we have given you the background and the understanding, and then you read or you go through some good blog, good explanation, you will be able to connect the dots and you'll be able to understand well. And trust me, here me and Gauravji for this 90 minutes of time will give our best to explain you, but then it is up to you how much you guys all sink in and do some self-study in case revisioning these videos. It will definitely help, and all these concepts are very relatable and connected to real life. So yes, Gauravji, over to you. I think I took some more time.
Yeah. No. It's you very well. You were connected and you were, gelling it up. So it was really great. So yeah, guys. So the thing is that these are self-explanatory. Retrospective, retro and inspection. What you are inspecting about the retro, about the past, means this is something thinking time where you are collecting the data, what went well, what did not go well, what we are going to incorporate further. Review is nothing but demo is what you have viewed, you are going to review that. Okay, so this is with the client. So this is how daily Scrum, we have talked about. This is the stand up sprint planning. Just before the start of the sprint, you are planning about the things, but there is one unsaid part which is also called as done or cancel. Okay, so you won't find much more material over the web, but still this is also called as one of the ceremony, sprint ceremony, Scrum ceremony, where either you call a sprint, it is done, or sometime you realize that now this is time to cancel it, or it goes in the sprint done chart to release the product increment from product backlog list. So no one mostly talk about it, but you just make sure if tomorrow in the interview you will be asked, are you aware of any another ceremony apart from these 4 or 5 items we have discussed, starting from sprint planning to daily scrum to review and then retrospective, then you can say that time, yeah, I have heard of cancel, I have heard of done, which goes in sprint chart. What is the chart where you are able to, like you are seeing here, the charts like here you are reading ceremony, purpose, attendees, tips and tricks. Whereas in that chart, sprint chart, what you will see, you will see planned, okay, to do, and in progress, and then done. Okay, and under that every single ticket will go ahead, every single ticket will follow. And you remember last time I have told, every single thing gets translated nowadays in the ticket. When I'm talking about the ticket, that you can store inside either iScrum or inside Jira like tools. Okay, so that's it about the ceremony. Then we call it as scrum planning as well, which we have, I think we have talked about. Product backlog, I have explained. Latest increment is nothing on which we are working already. Okay, so scrum planning goes 3 phases. One is input, one is output, and in between we talk about the sprint planning as well. Here you see that sprint has the sprint backlog item. So there is the product backlog item as well as sprint backlog item. So the input will be product backlog, the entire requirement from which you are pulling out some prioritized item, and you are putting that into the output, into the sprint backlog item. So another is about latest increment, means on which you are going to talk. And then comes to velocity, capacity of development team, where we encourage and we focus to have the highly skilled team. And in sprint planning, how we'll do it, what we will do it, we talk about that. Means here we decide which tool to use, which tool not to use, and we'll have the extra session on sprint planning soon. Yeah, I think this thing I have already explained. I'm not going inside that, but remember one very important thing. After seeing these many hands, what comes in mind?
Should I say, please?
Questions.
Okay.
Diversity. Sorry, I couldn't control.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're different colors.
Yeah.
Yes.
And also remember, any ceremony, if you are the scrum master, make sure to include the celebration, because celebration is must. That's why agile came into the picture. It should not be the boring. Even if you are going to review meeting with the client, it should not be just you are speaking, client is asking. Give yourself high five, give client high five. Even they are sitting virtually, you can give them high five. Hey, you have done good job. It builds the confidence in the client to whom they are working. So this is simple movement, simple gesture adds a lot of value. And this is what, everyone is missing out. If you can install a piece of confidence in someone, you have won the battle. The problem is half solved that moment only. If any critical problem also comes in, no client will tell to you, okay, so just take your time, we are there with you. Client will sit with you. If you are sitting longer or something like that, client will be like they are most welcoming host for you. Okay, so remember, the celebration is the keyword. If tomorrow you are going to work, you may find that part is missing, and if you can add that, nothing like that, most appreciable. Yeah. So any questions so far? Prerna ji, would you like to add something?
Gaurav, I'm good. We have spoken on many things today. So
yeah,
I think it's high time we ask them if they have anything to ask or to share.
I think, I think we have more or less covered everything. So
yes, I remember adding these all slides for a visual representation, because this sprint circular diagram is very important and very easy to relate to. That's why we've added all these. So this is actually repetitive in nature, but as more you see See, retrospective, review, implementation, planning, and planning, implementation, retrospective, review. So it's a circle, it's a cycle, cyclical movement which is going on and on and on, and it helps the further sprints and implementing.
See here,
So,
you see the nine,
yes.
yeah, 9 items were planned and 9 items has been delivered one by one, one by one. Every single item has been tick marked. So they followed this process. Okay, planning, then implementing, then review, then retrospective, and every implementation daily scrum is happening. And you see, these are looking like a ticket, sticky notes. So those are representing what? Ticket. So everything is the game of ticket. You can remember that in Agile or any project. Okay, so as you guys are knowing that things has to be time box. Time box means limited in the duration of a development cycle. You are knowing as the sprint is called as development cycle. Broken project into small and consistent time interval. So I think we have been kept telling you that has to be broken. Everything has to be broken, as short as few days and as long as 4 weeks. So yeah, Prerna ji has covered it, and can call a sprint a goal, or a project in itself. Yeah, every single sprint you can take it as a project and you can start resolving that. Remember to add value. Okay, you see here there are multiple sprints undergoing every same circular what Prerna is talking about, but it has to be time boxed. Yeah, are you with us so far? Yes. Someone is waiting. I think yes. Is waiting. Yeah. So I want to know that, what you have understood from today's session. So who is going to add? Yeah, Bobby, since you were talking to us, just tell us how easy it was today to get the things. We only talked about ceremony, right?
So in my opinion, today, in the span of 90 minutes, we have covered almost the whole Agile process.
Yeah.
Right from the product backlog till retrospection.
Yeah. Yes. That's amazing. So just pass to someone, call out someone's name, please. We will hear from them. Call out someone's name, Bobby, please.
Priyanka, please. Yeah.
Yeah, Priyanka. So what the insight you have today?
I think we did so much, and we got to learn a lot about the whole, the Scrum planning, retrospective, stand-up meetings. Also, one question I think I missed when you asked, I was thinking about that actually right now. The slide in which you saw, in which there were like multiple sprints, right? I just want to see that slide once more.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, sure. Let me reshare my screen. If you can see the screen, that will be great. So here is that.
Yeah. So here we see sprint 1, sprint 2, sprint 3, and sprint 4. So this is for like, are we talking about iterations here for the same use case, or is this like a different task here?
So it's all about the project. Okay, it's all about the project, and entire project. We can talk about how long the sprint will go. So we are talking about here the fixing a time duration for fixing the time duration of one single delivery. Say, for example, we are talking about sprint 1. We are talking that how long it will go. So it can go for 1 to 4 weeks. But we are also talking that once it is fixed for every single sprint. And every single sprint will undergo the same cycle. It means these 4 sprints are representing that entire project has to be finished within sprint 4. 4 sprint is made for this entire project. Yes. And every sprint is also representing an iteration. Okay.
Right.
Yeah. So because this is in cyclic manner. Yeah. Yes.
So the output here will be the increment.
Output is increment. Yes.
So will there be 4 increments here or just one increment?
So 4 is just what do you call? 4 is just a representation, not necessary that there will be 1 or 2, something like that. It has to be decided before planning itself, because it may happen that, let's understand one piece of delivery. Say, for example, come towards the testing. So testing may undergo, 3 cycles of increment. Okay. So if you are talking about the entire sprint, so every sprint has to be incremented once. Okay. And it may come up with the 3-4 requirements. Okay. And it has to be pushed. This sky blue color, it is representing nothing but the deliverable, but the shipment. Okay. About the pushing. So this is one time increment only. But under this cycle, you can have multiple increments. Say, for example, you have 3 items. Okay. 3 requirements to be developed. Requirement number you plan to do within 3 days, but you finished it within 1 day, and testing team has 2 days in hand, and they plan to do it 3 layers of testing, where in the first increment they have found 200 defects. In the second increment they found only 50 defects, something like that. So this connector is also called as increment, or what do you call, it's the deliverable, it's the output.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome. So call out someone name, please. Priyanka.
Dipti.
So yes, what is your take on it, Dipti?
It was a great session today. I like the way you and Prerna asked us questions, so that I really truly enjoyed that part.
Thank you.
So thank you so much. And Bobby.
Bob is done. So
sorry,
I still have a question.
So many times that I didn't.
Okay, no. So you called right name, Dipti. Thank you. Bobby, go ahead.
Gaurav, I just want to reconfirm my imagination, because I tried to imagine something to understand the subject. Like, for example, in my phone, I have got the app of my bank account. Yes. In there, there are 3-4 things. Check the account balance, transfer the money, register the beneficiary for pay order, making pay order, or all those different things. So what I have tried to imagine is, check the bank balance is one sprint. Then transfer the money is the second sprint.
No. So it can happen that check balance and fund transfer can be one sprint. Okay. Because these are requirement, right, Bobby? So these are requirement. Fund transfer is requirement. Check balance is the requirement, and account creation is a requirement. Okay. So you bank can decide, okay, we will develop these 3 requirements in one sprint, and this one sprint will be 15 days long, or 1 month long, or something like that. Sprint is nothing but a duration. Okay. So that's a sprint means duration. That you have to keep in mind. Okay. And that will be equal. Call out someone's name.
Who is meaning? Priya?
Yes. Priya. Thank you, Bobby. Again, like Deepti mentioned, it was a great session. We had not a very high level view. We had a detailed explanation of how things work. So I truly enjoyed this session.
Yes. Thank you so much. Call out someone's name, please.
I guess you are left, Gaurav.
So for me, there is one word which comes in my mind, because I'm focusing today more on that. That is nothing but you to remember. That is celebration. So I'm calling out Prerna's name now.
Gaurav, very well used word. So for me, today's session was super interactive, which is one of the keys to our sessions. Because only monologue is not gonna work in these sessions where we're talking about real life practical scenarios. I simply loved the way everybody participated. They came up with their doubts, especially Bobby ji started with a very good note, and I was actually taken aback in a very happy way that, oh, how come he knows that, he asked about roles and we talked about that. So everybody, we all were in sync. The kind of example Dipti, Priya and Priyanka ji, everybody talked about. So I'm really happy the way we are shaping up. So as always, my only emphasis is on that. Please keep getting back to these videos, keep watching others' videos uploaded on Guru Schools for the similar topics. All these things, all the diagrams are displayed in the PPTs. They will actually build up your pictorial memory, and it will be very easy to recall. And if you keep listening to these things, it will come handy when you have to give interviews or when you have to talk to other people. So please be more enthusiastic as you already are. I totally appreciate it, and let us go ahead with this. This thing that everything will be so super easy and so comfortable to adapt to, and I think that is what we are here for. Yeah. So thank you so much once again. Gauruji, over to you. I think we are at the end of the session.
We are just enthusiastic enough, and wonderfully taken by you, Prerna ji. Thank you. So when we are ending, I want all of you just shout out like another celebration and say woohoo, and I will end it. So 1, 2, 3, gay. Go and woohoo. Yes, thank you. Bye-bye.
Yes.
Good night, guys.
Good night.
Good night.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
Thank you.
Good night.